Cortana?
Still here.
A halo?
Installation 3. It's where Infinity found the coordinates for Requiem.
Then why are they bypassing it?
Because the composer's not on the ring. What are you waiting for? That station's not gonna save itself. Put me into the console.
This is UNSC Master Chief to base. Do you read?
Yes, I read you. This is Sandy Tilson of Ivanov Station. We're under attack.
They're after a Forerunner artifact you took from the Halo ring.
How do you know about that?
Doctor, I need you to protect that artifact until we arrive. Send whatever...
Do you know what that condescending bitch said to me after our first game of chess?
Cortana.
Even I don't call him by name anymore.
Correct your approach.
Yes, well, he also said he works better alone. I can see why you chose him, Catherine.
Cortana.
I'm your greatest achievement and you detest
Pull
me.
up! Now!
I'm sorry, I just can't stop them. It's like 1,000 of me arguing all at once.
Dr. Tilson, are you there?
Oh, thank God. When your signal cut off,
Doctor, listen to me. You have to issue the order to evacuate the
We've
station.
been trying. The Covenant, they've already taken over the landing bays.
Send me your coordinates. I'll see what I can do about clearing an evac route on my way to you.
What on, guys, we're doing? Welcome to a new video on Halo 4, and we have started with the mission Composer. Let's get rid of this Jackal and take his carbine, because I don't really like shooting with a pistol. I've taken the sticky detonator, because that actually comes in use a bit later, because I think we're going to have to fight some hunters. I think there's a shotgun that we could use against hunters, but I'm not entirely 100% sure about that. So I know a sticky detonator will definitely sort out the hunters. But anyways, take out these Jackals, because they're a bit of a nuisance. I think I might have to pick up another gun, unless they've got carbines up there. That's probably what they were shooting me with, actually. So, up we go. 1 and 2. There we go, some carbine ammunition. Headshots for days. Even though I missed, like, the second shot. Right, let's quickly raise a barricade before any more Covenants show up. There we go. Easy. I don't know why. My aim is literally so poor at the moment. There you go. I've been trying to play Halo, to do a bit of multiplayer. My aim is shocking. I don't know why. Sticky grenade. Oh, come on. I shot him, so that's alright. God's sake, my aim is absolutely ridiculous, man. Right, die. You've got a carbine, I'll take the carbine. We should... Oh, there it is. I can't find it. Ah, here's a shotgun. Right, this is where we need to fight the hunters. Right, that's 1. Should be 2 to a hunter, normally. Right, that's 1 shot. Oh, he almost got me. Nope, right. Oh yeah, shotgun in the back of the in the back of the back. Yeah, probably because it is Tilson. I'm not being funny. Come on, Cortana.
Tilson's inside the door over there.
Right, let's go.
I desperately hope you know why all this is happening. Because to be honest, my objectivity isn't doing me a whole lot of good right now. Hold on. I'll start us down.
The device you recovered was a Forerunner weapon. The commander of that ship wants it back.
Wants it back? You don't think you can remove... It can't leave the station. You know that, right?
We don't have any choice, Doctor.
It's not a matter of choice. It took 3 months, and the biggest starship the UNSC could throw at it just to relocate it here. Unless you're a lot stronger than you look. It's not going anywhere.
Can you give Cortana access to the station's supply manifest?
What for?
If we can't move the composer, we have to make sure the Didact can't either.
Oh, wait. We have years of work invested here.
Inventory lists 7 excavation-grade Havoc mines. Just one of those would turn this base into a piñata.
I'm sorry, Doctor. Keep routing your people to the evac centers. Once we take care of the composer, you won't have much time.
I'll make sure the nukes are primed so you can detonate them remotely. Maybe next time you rescue us, you can give us more time to pack.
Next time.
I wonder what actually happens to this base, like, and the information, because like obviously she said they got years and years of work invested here, which is good, which is fine, and that, but it makes it sound like they're going to lose that work. Now, surely, if let's say I was in charge of a science base and I had all this like data and information and intel on it, that literally like years and years of research that went into finding various different things. For me, like, I would make sure that the actual base itself and the information that it stored would like be stored on like a backup drive, and that could be actually quite easily removed. Yeah, fair play, the composer can't be moved, and like it's a Forerunner artifact that needs to be destroyed. But Dr. Tilson was talking about it as if to say, you know, we've got years of work invested here. We've got years and years of work invested here, and we're going to lose that if we evacuate this base. Like, can you not move the data? You know, that's a lot of work that you've got, and I agree, it needs to be saved, but surely you can move the data. Like, is that not an option? Like, I don't understand that. Like, is that actually a thing? Maybe it isn't, I don't know, but, I'm actually going to the first site. Oh, Christ, I've got to go this way. At the first site of a carbine, I'm actually going to swap my sticky detonator for it, because I don't really think I need it. I'm actually just going to waste the ammunition in it. Just so I can... There we go. I'll just waste the ammunition. I don't like having good ammo go to waste. There we go. Except for on the... go on, sticky... There we go. Nice. And I'll melee the grunt. Maybe not. There we go. And... there's actually a trick to getting past this. I don't really want to fight all these enemies. If I go up here... It'll load... I don't have to fight these enemies because it's all open, which is quite nice. I don't really like skipping the levels too much, but it's a bit of just aimless shooting that I don't really need to deal with. There we go. Go away. I know I don't really like using pistols, but I haven't really got a choice until I can find like something like a carbine or a DMR. There we go. Go away, Jackal. Out of it. But yeah, I would have thought they'd have had, like, you know, their data saved on, like, network drives or something that was actually just transported to the UNSC that everybody can use. I don't know, maybe not. Like, maybe that isn't something that the UNSC is readily available to use. But, like, you know, we do this in our times of day, like, now in, like, you know, 2020 or 2021, like, but for some reason, like, in 2555, or I think this is when this game takes place, that option isn't available. Like, why is that? Is it actually something that they just can't do? I don't know. It's something weird to think about. And maybe it is because this game was created at a time when the option to do that wasn't so readily available, and it's just based off of the times. But I would just thought, like, something that's so technologically advanced, you know, as Halo is, you know, because you look at, like, what Halo has achieved and what Halo makes the future of our world look like. You think, you know, it's not, like, it hasn't really advanced much in regards to, like, what it is at the moment. Like, I know we don't really spend much time on Earth, but if you look at, like, Halo 2 and you've got the you have the missions on Earth, and even the missions on in Halo 3 that are on Earth, it doesn't really seem like Earth has really advanced much as far as like technologically speaking. I'd actually be inclined to say that our world as it is currently in 2021, what is this down here? I've never been down here before. Oh no, it's just a way of getting up. Okay, that's fine. But I would say that our world in 2021 is actually more, in some ways, more advanced than what Halo 4 is at, or Halo is in like 2552 when it is where it's set. So I don't know. It's strange. And again, I know it is just because of the time frame. You know, like when we actually get to 2552. Like, and I know like that we're none of us that are alive now are going to see that happen, but when we do get to that time, like it's going to be so much different. You know, people, you know, children and adults that are alive in when we eventually get to 2552 are going to look back on Halo and think, my God, those are just that game. It looks so out of date and it's so inaccurate. But like Back to the Future, you know, Back to the Future, we looked at that, you know, in like was it 1980, I think it was, or 1990. And we saw that, what ammunitions has it got in here? It's got some DMR ammunition in here. Yeah, I'll take that. But you see that and you think like, you know, everybody thought like in 2015, which is when it actually, they went to the future to think, you know, oh, basically we're going to have like flying cars, it's all going to be technologically advanced and whatnot. And in some respects it is, like we do have like, you know, like starting concepts of flying cars and various stuff like that, but it's nowhere near what it was. I remember when I was in school, because I was in secondary school when it was in 2015, and in my IT class we used to have like, we did a lesson where we just like looked at Back to the Future and like how much things have advanced technologically and whether things are like as good as people say they are, and or whether how people claim they were back then. And in some ways it is, but it's not to the extent in which that they claimed it to happen, which is very interesting. And I'm really interested to know, like, even in, let's say, just like 100 years time from now, like when we're still nowhere near the time that Halo was set in, what would happen when we actually get to that point? How much things actually change, how much things change. I think I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, I need to go down one of these sides. But yeah, just how much things actually change in the space of like, you know, like in 2121, like how technically more advanced we are and how more advanced it is to what Halo says it is, you know. And I find that really interesting, especially with things that are set in the future. Like, you know, when we get to that time, a bit like Back to the Future, like when we actually get to that time, how accurate actually are things, you know. Is there things like Forerunners out there and Halo rings that are hell-bent on the galaxy, well, not necessarily hell-bent on the galaxy's destruction, but can cause the death of basically anything living in the entire galaxy? Like, is that actually a thing that is out there somewhere? And that's what I'm like, I'm really fascinated by space stuff, because it does bear the questions of like, this is the reason why I like sci-fi so much, you know, because it does beg the question, especially in things like Star Wars, like, because, you know, is there a galaxy somewhere where you have an alien race hell-bent on, that would be at some point hell-bent on humanity's destruction, you know? Is that something that we are going to face ourselves in a number of years' time? Maybe within our own lifetimes, maybe, because maybe Halo is like a foreshadowing to what's actually going on. Especially considering since all this sci-fi stuff has been, like, promoted a bit more with, like, various types of media, like film and that, and our wanting this, like, our curiosity about what is out there is actually like advanced a lot more since we first wanted to go to the moon, and we've been trying to find things. So maybe that actually would accelerate the plans to actually go like into the depths of space a bit more. Maybe we'll get Halo, maybe not like we'll get like a Covenant invasion, let's say, maybe not in 2552, but maybe like in like 2100, you know, or something. So a lot earlier, the same sort of thing, but a lot earlier than what something like Halo actually, I can say, prophesized it to be, because like we've advanced ourselves so much because people have got so interested in what actually is out there. Because that's the biggest, one of the biggest questions in society. Well, I wouldn't say society necessarily, but in our lives today. Like, you know, there's questions like, you know, why do we exist and why are we here? And there's also some questions like, you know, does God exist and stuff like that, you know? And I don't want to put my own opinions on those sort of questions, because, you know, that's not what this video is about. But there are questions of, like, you know, what, like, another one of the questions that gets asked is, like, you know, are we alone in the universe? And that's that question is one of the reasons why space travel and, like, spaceships and, like, space stations that have become so popular, and have become so much more popular than they actually are at the moment. Because, well, and then they have been when we first decided to go to the moon, because, you know, to start off with, it always used to be like, you know, you see the moon a day, like, every single day, or majority of days throughout the year, but it is always there. And, you know, people were like, you know, well, what can we actually go to it? Is it actually a real thing? Because there's a lot of conspiracy theories around, like, you know, that is the moon a projection and stuff like that, you know? And it's sort of like, you know, is that actually true? Is the moon actually there? And if it is, can we go and see it? So that's why, like, Earth travel started. Traveling to the moon, and that started. Now we're traveling to Mars, which is even further afield. So, like, it does make me think, like, how far can we go, you know? And I watched a video called "How the Universe is Way Bigger Than We Think," and I tell you what, it is absolutely fascinating. You know, being like a sci-fi nerd myself, like, I'm an avid, like, supporter of things about, like, you know, space. And I love watching space things because I find it so fascinating. But anyway, I'm talking a bit too much. Let's carry on with this mission. I've just basically gone on a massive like discussion and rant about various things, but yeah, I find things like that very interesting. You know, especially, you know, it's like Halo is a sci-fi game, but when you look at Halo in comparison with, like, what our real world is now, like, how much different that actually can be, and how much it actually different or the same it actually is, you know. Like, whereas, like, Halo is very technologically advanced with, like, you know, Halo is very technologically advanced with, like, you know, talking about the Forerunners and the Halo rings and the Covenant and things like that. But whereas the weapons, we're still using bullet weapons. You know, this DMR and even this shotgun are still bullets and shells. You know, they're still like they are now. Oh, hello. Oh, God. I think this is when the Didact takes the composer, I think. Yep, he is. Oh, no, we've got a problem on our hands now, boys. But, yeah, so, like, Halo, for being as technologically advanced as far as humanity is concerned, you know, we can make these massive space stations like the UNSC Infinity and things like that, but we're still using bullet weapons. Like, I would have thought, especially like for Halo now, with, like, all of the emphasis on, like, the Covenant and that. How, like, with, like, the Covenant and learning about what the Covenant used to, like, plasma weapons and that, why the UNSC didn't do it themselves. And again, maybe it's because the UNSC for the past, like, 30 years during the Human Covenant War was on the run, but, you know, maybe they were like struggling a bit, but I don't know. It just there's sort of things that make me wonder. But
biosignature stable on 350 level. B-deck.
Right, let's move.
Thank you, Cortana.
Thank you, Cortana. I know you're struggling with your ampancy, but we need to move and we need to concentrate. Otherwise, we're never going to save Earth from the composer and the Didact. Right. Activate.
They've compromised the station's hull.
The Didact's taken the composer. Get these people to the evac centers.
Taken how?
Tap the flight deck. Find us something that can carry a payload.
Wait. Something's happening.
Cortana, can you access the station's defense systems?
They're not responding.
Cortana!
Chief, it's... Are you okay? I monitored the data pulse. I could hear them. What was left of them?
We need to move.
These people are gone.
And more will follow if the Didact reaches Earth.
They'll pair you with another AI. Maybe even another Cortana model if Halsey lets them.
That's not going to happen.
It won't be me. You know that, right? Spinning up a broadsword in Hangar C-11. Whatever the librarian did to you obviously worked.
Cortana. It's not over. Not yet.
Not yet.
So that is about what we have time for in this Let's Play video here. So yeah, I don't, that mission's a bit weird. I really enjoy that mission. I always have done it and really enjoy that mission because it is just Covenant. And I really love, like, the thing is with Halo 4, and the same as with Halo 5 to an extent, is that like you never really had the mix of Covenant and the Flood in the original Halo games. You know, you were fighting either one or the other. And again, I suppose you sort of did in, like, let's say Halo 3, because in Halo 3 you had like, you know, the Flood fight on, you had the Flood in certain parts and the Covenant in others, or like, let's say on High Charity in Halo 2, but they weren't working together. So you could often, like, let's say in Halo 2 in the mission High Charity, you know, you did have the Flood and you were fighting against the Flood, but the Flood were, yes, they were a prominent enemy, but they were also fighting against the Covenant as well. So, like with High Charity, you could quite easily just run past a load of enemies because they were basically infighting. And this is like the mission called Gravemind, where you're actually fighting through High Charity. What makes that mission a lot easier than it actually is because, like, a lot of the level you can just run through because because the AI are just basically fighting each other, because the brutes are fighting with the elites, and there's a lot of infighting, so you can just rush past through them. There are times where there's squads that you do have to take out yourself, and you've got to be a bit mindful of that. But a lot of the level you can just sprint through because there's just a lot of infighting in the level. So. But with Halo 4, it's like you can be fighting the Covenant and the Prometheans at the same time, and they're not infighting. There are a couple of missions like before, like on the mission Forerunner, I think it was, you do get the infighting between the Covenant and the Prometheans, because they weren't allied forces back then. But later on in the game, like especially around now time, you get the mixture of the Covenant and the Prometheans working and fighting together against you, and it's just the Prometheans and the Covenant require such different fight styles. Like, you know, the elites you can't really like headshot because their shields are too strong. You actually do have to go with something like a shotgun or with a melee. Whereas with the Knights, you can't really go with a melee because their armor is so strong. You actually have to shoot them from afar with something like a DMR. So. It's a bit, and especially when if there's like different levels, like this level Midnight, which we're going to do next episode, you're just basically fighting the Prometheans throughout the entire level, which is fine because you can adjust your fight style and play style to that of what it is supposed to be, and what the whether it be the Covenant or the Prometheans that you're fighting. But when you got them both at the same time, like again on Forerunner, you know, they are both there in the level, and yes, they are fighting each other, but when they turn around and then both start shooting at you, it becomes a pain in the backside, because you've got to adjust your fighting style. You've got basically carry 4 weapons in 2 slots, and that's what it feels like. So, anyway, I'm going on and on about things that don't really matter. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Next episode, we are going to finish Halo's story by going on to Midnight. And so yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribe button for more awesome gaming content. And I shall see you all later. Bye.